Here is what INTJs say versus what they actually mean. Number 1, I'm fine. When an INTJ says, I'm fine, what you're really hearing is the quiet hum of a supercomputer running complex simulations behind a calm face. It's not a casual brush off or a simple status update. It's a full metal fortress built to keep their inner workings locked away. To the outside world, it sounds like a simple phrase, almost robotic in its minimalism. But inside, it means do not disturb. Because beneath that calm exterior, their mind is sorting through 1,000 threads. Plans, emotions, conflicts, and solutions. All tangled together like a complex puzzle only they see. I'm fine is their way of saying, I'm managing a storm you can't see. It's a shield against probing questions they're not ready to answer. A pause button on a conversation they don't want to derail with messy feelings. It's also a kind of code. Subtle plea for patience, space, and respect, because INTJs don't wear their hearts on their sleeves, and I'm fine often means the opposite. A signal that things are not fine, but they're handling it in their own, intensely private way. So, when an INTJ tells you, I'm fine, don't take it at face value. It's the calm before the storm of thoughts, the quiet engine running miles per hour beneath a still surface. They may seem distant, but they're not broken, just busy mastering the chaos inside.
If you're willing to delve even deeper into your personality type, we're excited to announce the release of our insightful books. In the first one, you can explore the nuanced dynamics of INTJ relationships and uncover strategies to foster deeper connections based on understanding and compatibility. In the second, you can gain clarity on navigating the intricate terrain of career choices with a guide tailored specifically for INTJs, offering actionable advice to leverage their unique strengths effectively and finally choose the best career path. As a special offer for our subscribers, we have a promo code available for your purchase. Link is in the description below.
Number 2, that's an interesting idea. When an INTJ says that's an interesting idea, it's rarely just polite filler. Because those 3 simple words, their mind is firing on all cylinders, analyzing, dissecting, and running silent simulations to test your suggestion against every known fact and possibility. It's a signal, not an agreement, but of cautious curiosity. They've heard something that sparked a flicker of potential, but they're far from convinced. Inside, they're already weighing your idea against their own mental models, asking, does this hold up? What are the flaws? How could it be improved? This phrase is their way of buying time, a verbal bookmark marking a thought worth revisiting. It's the calm before they either nod in approval or dismantle your argument with surgical precision. To the casual listener, it might sound like a lukewarm compliment. To the INTJ, it's the opening move in a deep strategic game of mental chess, an invitation to explore, challenge, and ultimately refine the truth. So, when you hear, that's an interesting idea from an INTJ, know this: the conversation is just getting started. Their internal engines are revving up, and what comes next will be thoughtful, thorough, and anything but casual. Number 3, I don't really care. On the surface, when an INTJ says, I don't really care, it sounds like detachment or indifference. But if you listen closely, you'll catch the subtle complexity behind those words. It's not apathy, it's calculated emotional economy. To an INTJ, energy is a finite resource, carefully budgeted and guarded like precious currency. Saying, I don't really care, is often their way of signaling that this particular topic, person, or drama isn't worth their limited attention right now. It's a boundary, drawn firmly but quietly to keep distractions and emotional noise at bay. But here's the twist: just because they don't care about the surface level doesn't mean they're oblivious. Far from it, they're quietly observing, mentally filing away every detail, every nuance, storing information like a database waiting for the right query. So, when an INTJ says they don't care, what they often mean is, this is not important enough to warrant my emotional investment now. But I'm watching, remembering, and analyzing in the background. It's a paradox of presence and distance. They appear emotionally detached, yet internally they're deeply engaged, just on their own terms, at their own pace, with their own rigorous standards. And sometimes, when the timing is right, all those don't care moments turn into powerful insights or strategic moves that surprise everyone who thought they were invisible or irrelevant. In other words, never mistake their silence or apparent indifference for lack of awareness. It's just the INTJ's way of saying, I care, but on a level you might not see yet. Number 4. Do whatever you want. At first glance, when an INTJ says, do whatever you want, it might seem like they're throwing up their hands, checked out, and indifferent. But trust me, that's just the surface level, a perfectly maintained mask. Beneath those 3 simple words lies a mind already racing through 1,000 possible scenarios, outcomes, and consequences. It's not surrender or apathy, it's strategic delegation wrapped in quiet calculation. By saying, do whatever you want, they're granting freedom, but it's freedom with an invisible leash. They've mentally prepared for every twist and turn, every success or failure that might come from your choice. Their internal playbook is open, their contingency plans drafted, waiting to be deployed if needed. It's a moment where they relinquish control but never truly lose it. They trust your judgment enough to let go, but remain hyper-aware, silently observing, analyzing, and adjusting their own strategies as events unfold. If you think this phrase means a free pass to act without consequence, think again. In INTJ terms, it's more like a game of chess, where they just passed you the move, but they're still thinking 5 moves ahead. So, next time an INTJ says, do whatever you want, know that it's not just casual permission. It's a challenge, a test, and a statement wrapped in a quiet respect. Choose wisely because you're playing in their arena now. Number 5. I'm just being realistic. When an INTJ says, I'm just being realistic, what they're really doing is setting the stage for their brutally honest analysis. Stripped of fluff and unnecessary optimism. They're not pessimistic, they're the ones who've already run every possible scenario through their mental supercomputer. Every risk, every weak point, every potential failure has been logged, mapped, and ready to be flagged. This phrase is a polite warning. I'm not here to sugarcoat things or feed you false hope. I'm here to prepare you for what's really likely. But that realism isn't just cold facts, it's a strategic mindset. It's about seeing the chessboard clearly, knowing where the pitfalls lie, and planning the best moves to avoid them. So, when you hear, I'm just being realistic from an INTJ, don't mistake it for negativity. It's their way of helping you brace for impact and come out ahead. Number 6, let me think about it. When an INTJ says, let me think about it, it's not just a polite pause or a way to buy time. It's a deep dive into their mental laboratory, where ideas are dissected, theories tested, and outcomes simulated, all in silence. To an outsider, it might seem like hesitation or indecision, but what's really happening is a complex, multi-layered process of internal analysis. The INTJ is weighing every angle, cross-referencing past experiences, calculating probabilities, and mentally running through every possible consequence. This isn't simple thinking, it's a high-level strategizing, a meticulous evaluation that can take seconds, minutes, or even days, depending on the stakes. Their brain is not satisfied with surface-level answers. It demands clarity, precision, and logic. And while they're immersed in this invisible mental storm, their exterior remains calm, unreadable. Because INTJs are masters of emotional control. They don't reveal the chaos beneath unless absolutely necessary. So next time you hear "let me think about it" from an INTJ, understand it as a sign of respect. They're giving your idea the weight it deserves, preparing a thoughtful response that's far more than a snap judgment. They don't rush decisions because they know every choice is a thread in a much larger tapestry. And when they finally answer, you can trust it's been forged in the fires of careful contemplation. These videos will be really helpful for you.